Found the missing patrols, or was something else on your mind? While that is disheartening news, there...
I'd slap him around, but he stood at my parents' wedding. Plus, he used to make excuses to get me out of my punishment when I'd slept through head scribe Taggart's lectures. Figure I owe him for that. He means well. No, but it does make it easier to forgive him. He's just misguided. It's not too late to change his mind. He's a stubborn old man, but when it comes down to it, he's got our best interests at heart. If he sees some indisputable sign we're on the wrong course, he won't ignore it. That's my question to the Elder. All these years, the Brotherhood has collected weapons technology. And for what? To keep it out of people's hands? That clearly hasn't worked. To defend ourselves? We can't compete with the NCR's numbers or the Legions. We're fighting a war for a lost cause. If we're gonna survive, we have to find a role in society, attract new members. Look at the followers of the Apocalypse. They use their expertise to improve people's lives. They train them to be self-sufficient. That expertise cultivates respect and gratitude, spreads their ideals, draws talent to their cause. They make friends like we make enemies. But they don't know a fraction of what we know. If we took on their role, we could stand up to anyone. We wouldn't have to hide. I don't know. We need something that shows the Brotherhood will fail, or that it can do better a different way. The only thing that gets his attention is technology. Maybe Father Elijah had the right idea. Our elder before McNamara, he had a nose for recovering lost technology. He'd send scribes out into the desert chasing whatever leads he found. There were a few he only trusted me with. I can think of at least one that'd prove my point, if it still exists. There's a comm terminal not too far from here I'd use to access messages from him. If we go there, I can pull up his research on it. I'm with you. Being around here isn't the same anymore.
So, you're the outsider that's been given leave to wander around freely. Desperate times call for desperate measures, I guess. Name's Hardin. I'm the head paladin of this chapter, and I think we might be able to help each other out. I don't know what the Elder talked to you about, but I can tell you this chapter is in trouble. And he's at the center of it. Are you willing to listen to what I have to say? Why should you trust the Elder? I'd recommend listening to both of us, and choosing whom to trust for yourself. So are you willing to listen? As you may have already heard, this entire base is under a state of lockdown. No one goes out except small patrols at night. Most of the chapter has been sealed in here for years. And those few who were outside when the lockdown was initiated are forbidden from returning. Morale has plummeted as time has gone by, and many of our current paladins haven't seen combat outside of training simulations, and all because of the Elder's explicit order that no one be allowed in or out. The only way things will change is if a new Elder is installed. Of course I have, many times in fact. The Elder has an open-door policy and will listen to advice on any subject save this one. He refuses to see that our isolation is slowly weakening us. Aside from being our duty, going out on missions is what kept us strong. And because he fails to see that, he must be replaced. Veronica's a special case. She handles the procurement of supplies. If we didn't let her and those like her back in, we'd all starve. If the Elder could manage it, he'd shut them out as well, and all in the name of security, which is why we need to replace him. I don't know. I've gone through our records dozens of times looking for a precedent regarding the dismissal of an Elder and come up with nothing. The people who are most likely to know how it could be done are also some of McNamara's strongest supporters, so they refuse to help me, which is why we're having this conversation. An outsider such as yourself would arouse less suspicion asking questions about such matters. The fact that the Elder has some tasks for you means his faithful won't suspect you, and you have a line open to the man himself. In short, you're in a perfect position to help me. Will you at least think about it? If I become Elder, the lockdown will be lifted, and we'll once again be able to send patrols out into the wastes. We'll become powerful again. And when that happens, it will be good to have the Brotherhood as an ally. Good enough? That'll have to do. I'd recommend going to see Ramos first. As head of security, he's more familiar with our protocols than anyone else here. You could also try to find something relevant in our data store, though last I heard Scribe Ibsen is having a bit of a problem accessing it. And if McNamara should give you any tasks, I'd ask that you kept me abreast of them. Report anything you find to me, and we'll move from there.
What is this? Veronica brings an outsider into our home, then has a private audience with the Elder? The two of you may have the Elder fooled, but we know better. Veronica has always twisted the Founder's principles to her own ends. We will not stand idly by and allow her to corrupt our Elder's thinking.
Sorry about that. Just because I love them doesn't mean some of them aren't assholes. What's up? See you around. Pardon?
I hope you've been proud. Practicing your drills. It's dangerous.
let's see what we've got here. Okay, yeah, this is the one I was thinking of. The pulse gun. Although maybe the rangefinder could work too. And it looks like the NCR was onto some miracle farming technology. More or less. Supposedly it's a vegetation enhancer. NCR has a science branch headquartered at McCarran Airport. Guess they found something. Guess somebody wasn't very good at keeping secrets either. We'd never pursue it because it's not a weapon, but self-sufficiency is fundamental to us. If it works, they'd see the value of an alternate course. It's a targeting device for some kind of doomsday weapon based at Helios 1. It was lost sometime after the war. We held Helios 1 for a time. Lost a lot of people defending it. Too many. All for this weapon they never got working. If it turns out to be a dud, it'd show how flawed our goals have been. Father Elijah said he thinks a scavenger might have sold it on the strip. Electromagnetic weapon from before the Great War. Experimental. It never saw mass production. But they were building it as a countermeasure to power armor, which they feared the Chinese were developing. Supposedly a prototype was being housed at Nellis. Imagine what it could do to the Brotherhood. We'd be on equal footing with any idiot with a gun. Ah, hell. Well, how could you know, right? Okay, 2 other options still on the table. Okay, what better way to persuade them than to give them a taste of what they stand to gain, right? Maybe the best place to start is to see what we can find out directly from the NCR. Let's head to their OSI office at McCarran. I like the way you think. What's up? See you around.
Sure it's working. Not sure, because sometimes my mic doesn't pick up. Yeah, this isn't my first playthrough. It's my first time that I've ever done this specific characters, side characters, well, companions, side story stuff. And it'll be the first time I've done 2 of the DLCs when I get around to it. But it's not my first time through the base game.
Veronica, I hope...
I brought you a present. This disc has secrets to breeding plants that can thrive in the wasteland.
High Elder Maxon didn't found us to be botanists, Veronica.
Think about it. No more trading guns for food. Total self-sufficiency. It's what we always wanted.
This won't get us Hoover Dam.
Yes, it will. If we feed people, they'll support us. They'll join us.
What does the Codex say?
A bunch of closed-minded bullshit.
We do not help them or let them in.
But
We keep knowledge they must never have.
give it a chance. For me. I can't stay here and watch us waste away.
I'm sorry.
We'll die out.
I know.
Come on. I can't listen to this anymore.
Found the missing patrols, or was something else on your mind?
What's up? Why does everyone always say that? What is... He wouldn't listen. The truth was right there staring him in the face. How could he not listen? No. Our case wouldn't be any stronger if tomorrow they all died when their energy weapons backfired. I just didn't expect that. There was no getting through to him. How can I help them when they won't accept it? I don't know if I can stay. Maybe it'd be better for everyone if I left. Spent my life somewhere else. Work with the followers of the apocalypse, maybe. Put my knowledge to some good use. Or I can stay here with the people I care about and do whatever I can until it comes to a slow or sudden end. Okay, so take the Brotherhood, replace their knowledge of superweapons with half as much knowledge of medicine and farming, sprinkle in a little compassion for people outside their group and healthy disrespect for authority, and voila, followers. I never really considered joining before, but now that I think about it, it really sounds like it could be a good fit, doesn't it?
I know there's a lot to do in this game. I agree. I've played it multiple times since I was younger. I never really beat it the first few times I played it, and I never really did the DLC until recently, any of them. And yes, I've played Fallout 4. I played it all the way through actually. Since Twitch only keeps up your videos for I think it's like a week or 2 weeks. I can't remember the exact amount of time. I move all my stuff over to YouTube under the same name, and I believe I have a playlist for that I played the whole game on. I didn't do as much as I wanted to with like the side stuff for building settlements and stuff. Eventually I'm gonna hop back on there and do all that, but I've beat the main game already. I don't know what I want to tell her to do, honestly. None of them seem great.
Not even a hint, huh? Jeez, I really am all alone on this one. I guess I'll stay. If I left, there wouldn't be any coming back. It might be something I'd instantly regret. Things are gonna get harder for the Brotherhood before they get easier.
Let her make her own
I
mind
should
up.
support them in whatever way I can.
She chose the one I
Let's
kind
get
of wanted
going.
to tell her to do, but
I'd like to get my mind off all this. And some fresh air would do me some good. Right about now.
I also played Fallout 3 a long time ago. And is it Fallout 1 that you had, Barry? The collection of the old ones? I didn't beat any of the old ones. Yeah, I didn't beat any of the old ones, but I played them. Fallout 3 is probably the one I played the most since I was younger when it came out. Probably. 3 or this one. One or the other. I think I just walked myself in a circle right back where I just came from. I did.
Your presence here, let's just say it's highly irregular. Outsiders aren't even allowed to know that our bunker's here, let alone come and go freely. You impressed Elder McNamara, obviously. He must believe that you'd be very useful. So, you've been talking to Hardin, eh? He's been looking for a way to usurp McNamara ever since the lockdown started. Don't get me wrong, he's a good man. But Elder McNamara has done all right by us. If it weren't for him, none of us would have survived at Helios. I'll tell you what I told Hardin. There have been only a few cases of elders being dismissed from their posts in the Brotherhood's history. And those involve crimes that someone like Elder McNamara is just not capable of. You can look it up for yourself if you want. I'll grant you access to that portion of the history section of our data store. See Senior Scribe Ibsen about accessing it. I'm sure someone's told you all this before. Several years back, we were running our chapter out the Helios 1 solar power station. Our elder at the time, Elijah, had some kind of obsession with the place, which is the only reason we stayed as long as we did. That place was hardly defensible, and we knew the NCR was moving in on us, but the elder refused to budge, insisting that he just needed more time. We never found out what he needed time for. Wave upon wave of NCR troopers hit us from all directions. We held out for a time, but we were grossly outnumbered, and they had more men than we had ammo. Eventually, our positions collapsed. Elder Elijah was nowhere to be found, so McNamara took charge and led what remained of us on a counteroffensive west. We lost a lot of men and women, but we broke through and made it here. Make no mistake, McNamara saved this chapter that day. Who was Elijah more like? He was our elder before McNamara. Bright guy, but just between you and me, he was a little off. Our mission is to recover and preserve the technology of the past, but Elijah wanted more. He sought ways to improve upon technology, make it better. When we found Helios 1, he was like a kid in a candy store, kept talking about the potential, and a grand design never realized. He even insisted we set up our base there, against the objection of nearly every paladin. What followed is a whole other story. Bye.
Hey, Ramos.
Hey yourself, kiddo.
Ooh, that's a tough one. New Vegas is probably my favorite Fallout, but I do like 3. Spent a lot of time playing 3.
We heard Veronica talking with the Elder. We won't stand for this. She'd be doing a greater service by carrying out her duties and not trying to undermine the Elder's authority. This had better be the last time her loyalty falters. You've been warned.
God. I should get used to this, I guess. People get desperate. They turn on each other. First thing to go is trust. I don't think it's ever gonna be the same for me in there. Knowing no matter what I do, it's gonna end badly. But they're all I have. Yeah, I've got the rest of my life to help them out. I could spare a little while to see things through with you. No, I think it is. I have to be resolved about this. If I waver, it'll just make things harder. They need me, and I'm not going to abandon them. Good idea. You're making me carry the heavy stuff.
I did. I haven't finished it. We finished the first season, right, babe? Of Fallout? The show. Yeah. But we haven't watched anything past that yet. I liked it. It was good. In my opinion, it was really good. Usually when somebody tries to make a show based off a video game, it doesn't go so great. Well, what's his name? Is it Walter Goggins plays the ghoul? I love him. He's great. Girl who was the main character, the one that voices Jinx, what's her name? She's pretty cool too. I don't know her name either. She's got big old bug eyes. She's hot in a weird way. No shame there. I've just had no life for most of my life, so. I played it a long time ago. Spent half my youth in my room playing vid games. Oh my god. Hey, hey, Rose. Did you just say, oh no? I know. The first thing she says when she pops into chat is, Mommy, I've missed you, Mommy. I know. Oh, of course it is.
How may I serve you, Miss? Mistress? Hello, Mrs. Millet. I hope you have an excellent day at work today.
That's a lot of trust you're putting in me there, Rose. Crazy aunt, I do that real well.
How may I serve you, mistress?
Mommy, I don't know about that.
How may I serve you, mistress? Third floor access is for executives only. Please identify. Incorrect. Security alert. You have 30 seconds to vacate before security is alerted.
No. Look, I don't even know how I got up here. Hold on a minute, bro. There we go. Shit. Hopefully that resets when I go back in there.
Hello, Mrs. Millet. I hope you have an excellent day at work today.
Oh, okay. So he recognized me, but they didn't recognize me upstairs. What's that shit about? The disrespect. I think this is what I gotta look at anyways, so it's not like I gotta go anywhere else up here.
Are you Super Science Man?
Or something. Haven't quite figured out what it is just yet, but very. Burr.
I guess they're into
Shh, I did. I just pushed buttons. I won't lie. All I did was guess there. I was like, there's only so many options.
that one covered all of the text. Sets effect for
Yes.
if you don't use any of your text first, then that one doesn't cover. You nasty shit.
Isn't it?
How would this game say that? After they beat me out, don't it? Something like that. There you go, that arrow.
Oh no, organization.
You want me to help you?
I mean, if you want to. Civilization?
Well, 5 of the letters are correct. If it's that, then
It's gotta be the ones with Zation on the end.
no. Zation is 6.
Hmm.
Very careful.
So it's just the Asian?
Asian
ATIO.
is 5, yeah. Plus every other letter out there. What we're gonna Asian is still 5 as well.
There's too many with that option. Too many!
Do the proper way. Read the note. Move some dice first. Especially when you're and you put 2 of these 2 left. Yeah. Well, yeah, private. One direction.
You son of a bitch. I hate you.
Against the party. That was the show yet, but I still have you piercing this.
Ooh, got something good for me? Is it a dress?
She likes
You're not
dresses.
Well, apparently.
That feels pretty. You ready for another one, babe?
This bracket.
Nice. Missed it. Alright? What's okay?
I'll try civilization. Actually, hold on. Triumphantly.
Ridiculous.
I didn't expect first try, but I'll take it.
What did you drop? What did you drop, Rex? Emily said she's putting in her will for us to take her kids. That we'd love her army. But they also come with 17 cats, Barry.
Yeah,
Barry said, no, thank you. No, thank you. We have 10. Dun, 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 dun. There's 6 upstairs and 4 up here.
Ooh, got something good for me? Is it a dress?
We haven't done repo in a while, you're right. We do plan to play it again at some point.
Ooh, got something good for me? Is it a dress?
Besides Repo, though, Rose, we also plan to play a run through Resident Evil 5 together here sometime soon. Not sure when, but eventually we're gonna get to that. Very.
Found the missing patrols, or was something else on your mind? They were all dead then. I suppose I'm not surprised. We have few friends in the world above, and many enemies. But we must turn our minds to other matters. When I sent out those patrols, I also sent 3 knights out on scouting missions. When the patrols failed to return, we assumed the worst, and sent a single communication to the scouts to hold position and maintain radio silence. I want you to contact those scouts and gather their reports. Like the patrols, they have devices on them that will enable you to track them. When you find them, tell them you're my representative and ask them if the bears are still hunting. That should get them to talk to you. Return when you've gathered all of their reports.
Morning.
Hey, you're the one who's been going around helping people around here, right? The king says to keep up the good work. He said to give you this.
If it can be bought, it can be found at Mick and Ralph's.
Wanna get lucky? Head on down to the Atomic Wrangler.
Every time I try to fight Death Claws, they rock my shit one way or the other. Doesn't matter how many times. Because I panic, I think. Give me a sec, guys.
Gotcha.
Uh-oh.
That's close enough. What do you want with the Great Khans? Awaiting a delivery, but it's a no-show. I'm guessing that the death claws in the quarry have something to do with that. Supplies to make chems. The NCR's the best source since they're hard to come by anywhere else. We don't really use the chems ourselves, just sell them to anybody with the caps. If it ends up hurting the NCR in the process, that's a bonus. The Khans and the NCR don't get along. They prefer to shoot us on sight, even if we're not looking for a fight. I doubt the NCR thinks so. Is that right? What's your angle? Right. Alright, here's the deal. I was expecting a shipment of chemicals. It's usually in a suitcase dropped off in one of the big machines up here. Because of the death clause, I have to assume the suitcase is still in Sloan. Snoop around the place and get it for me. I wouldn't eat or drink them, but no. They won't explode if you drop them or anything. Don't kill anybody if you don't have to. I'm a scout and I like to keep a low profile. Like what? We're an independent group. We take care of our own and don't take crap from anybody. Especially the NCR. Bitter Springs happened. Women and children died when the NCR attacked the Great Khans there. And the NCR just pretends it never happened. It wasn't easy. There's a lot of initiation rituals to go through, and I've got the scars to prove it. But in the end, I was tough enough to be made a member. Proudest day of my life. Our main camp is up in Red Rock Canyon, but we don't allow just anyone to come in. The NCR can't touch us there. Too many places for us to ambush them. We see their scouts poking around once in a while, but they keep their distance. Don't leave a trail.
Do you need something? Ah, yes. I think I know which friend you mean. Even if there weren't death claws in the quarry, there'd still be no delivery. The supplier, a guy in Prim named Tyrone, is a cheating son of a bitch who won't deliver even though he's already been paid in advance. He's always been shady, but this is the first time he's outright screwed me. I'm just a middleman. The Great Khans are a hard group, and some of them are no good. But they're not all the same. I believe in the NCR, but that doesn't make it right for them to roll over anyone who doesn't want any part of them. She's my daughter. Takes a little too much after her mother, rest her soul. But she's happy with the Great Khans, and that's enough for me. Good luck.
Hey, what can Tyrone do for you?
Just making some deliveries to the troops here in Prim. I'm stationed in California, but I come across the border a couple times a month. It's better than farming or herding Brahmin. As long as they don't send me to the front lines, I'm a happy man.
You trying to get me busted? Keep your damn voice down. Lieutenant Hayes already has his eye on me.
Look, I already told Chomps the NCR is getting suspicious of all these misplaced supplies. Bigger risk means bigger cost. 300 caps bigger. Fine. I'll just eat the cost and do a favor for Chomps. Just this one time only.
Nelson. It's back in our...
What do you want now? You actually came through for us. I didn't expect that. Anyway, the Great Khans pay their debts and don't forget their friends. If you ever come out to Red Rock Canyon, I'll put in a good word for you. We're... Like what?
Hello.
How's it going? You can ask, but why would I do that? Carl told me all about the life in the Legion. He says I've got all the makings of a speculatory. What? No, What do you mean aren't allowed to serve? Why would he lie about that? That lying little weasel. I almost fell for it too. All right, you've got a deal. You can tell Papa I won't support an alliance. Bye.
Welcome back, stranger. Do you have good news for the Thorn? Good work, stranger. The Thorn will nurture these eggs until their hatchlings are ready to bleed for us. Here's a compensation for your service. I trust that we're in agreement over it. You're proving your worth to the Thorn. I hope these extra caps are sufficient to demonstrate my fairness. Bring me a dozen fire gecko eggs. This great challenge will earn you a matching reward. Fire geckos are among the wasteland's most dangerous creatures. Near the Iritiba Peaks lies a nest where you may find their eggs. Confident. I like that. So long, stranger. Gonna eat the next fucking rat I see.
How are you today? Santiago is fabulous. Santiago does not owe anyone. Santiago is a free-side VIP. Yes, indeed. Santiago is very important. I even have a discount in Mick and Ralph's. Perhaps you could use Santiago's discount. For 50 caps, Santiago will tell you the super-secret code word to get a discount with Mick. 25 caps will do. Tell Mick Santiago sent you, and the code word is extravaganza. He will set you up. Sir, Santiago told you. Santiago has no debts. I didn't think she was upset enough to have me killed. Here are the caps, I'll do the Santiago act to get out of paying for services every once in a while. I didn't think it could possibly get me killed. Later.
Ooh, got something good for me? Is it a dress? You're making me carry the heavy stuff, aren't you?
Hey there. Need it?
She hasn't paid me anything yet.
What can I do for you? Thanks. Bye.
Should I be worried?
Welcome back. Can I get you? Sure thing. Have a look.
When refugees told us the legate took over at under
Come back. Hey there. You looking to buy or sell? Can do. See ya.
Hello.
Welcome back. Yes, I heard. I believe we're now responsible for paying off his gambling debts, but that you bargained him down from a more outrageous demand. Well done. I'm very pleased to be rid of that man. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah? What is it? Both of them? Wow, that's very resourceful. Thank you. I think that should just about cover us. I really don't know how to thank you. Your bringing me these supplies saved a lot of people. Well, still, thanks again.
You're becoming quite the political agitator. I can't say I'm displeased. What do you want to know? Suit yourself. I have... You'll probably have an easier time of things if you... Carl talks prettily about the honor and the... Maybe you could find something he wrote that expresses that opinion. Or trick him into losing his cool in the longhouse right in front of Papa.
I understand you've been talking to the great Khans about breaking their oaths to Great Caesar. I would call that unwise.
Join? Oh, no, I simply couldn't. That is, I'm not worthy of such an honor. Of course I am. That is to say, Caesar has many fine warriors, and I wouldn't wish to compare them to the great Khans. Enough! How dare you compare Caesar's finest to this tribe of savages? The mightiest great Khan is scarcely a match for a legion recruit. The burned man would leave their mightiest shitting themselves in terror. I would. That is... You motherless bastard. You'll pay for this.
Great Khans, drive Caesar's dog out of our camp.
Hey.
Something else you wanted? What do you...
More of my advisors are starting to talk openly of breaking our alliance. I wonder where that idea is coming from. Farewell.
Hey. You sure? Something else you wanted? Until...
We're not moving as many chems now that the fiends have been taken out. Ah, you're back. What else do you need? You want to hear the story?
We're not moving as many chems now that the fiends have been taken out.
Share a whiskey with me sometime?
Hello.
You're becoming quite the political agitator. What do you want to know? Papa can be a stubborn man. If you can convince all of us that allying... All right.
More of my advice. Let me see that. Filthy savages. Probably have to decimate the lot of them. Are these the words of our friend, Caesar?
Great Khans, drive Caesar's dog out of our camp. If he's too slow to flee, kill him.
Evening.
All four of my most trusted advisors have told me we should break our alliance. Maybe I should hear you out after all. I've heard some things from my most trusted Khans. It makes me wonder whether this alliance is a good idea after all. But I want to leave a legacy of greatness when I die. My tribe deserves better than this, cowering in a canyon and living on scraps. Tell me then, if I don't join with Caesar's legion, where will I find my tribe's lost glory? Well spoken, traveler. Well spoken indeed. Perhaps it's time to find our own destiny, unburdened by the past. We'll begin readying the camp to move. As soon as Caesar makes his move, we'll depart. We will make ourselves strong again, and we shall conquer. If you should ever tire wandering alone, seek us out. You might just have the makings of a great Khan yourself.
Hello.
Your friend's cute.
Ah, you're back. What else do you need?
Is she single?
Back west, you don't see too many of these. Lakes, I mean. Natural or man-made. Any kind, really. We neglected the dams or pumped all the water out a long time ago. Owens, Isabella, the San Luis. Drained the aquifers of everything they had. Just a lot of mud and dust now. It's a different feeling watching the sun come up over the water. Takes some getting used to. But if you're here long enough, it starts to seem normal. That's what a ranger's life is now, looking east. You must be the courier folks have been talking about. Word on the radio is that someone wronged you back in Good Springs. The Mojave has a way of burning decent people up, but it sounds like you've done right by the NCR. It's appreciated. Now what can I do for you? Not too long ago, they took Nelson and Searchlight. They got some camps on the eastern shore of the Colorado. And the monstrosity on the hill across the lake, that's for Caesar. Some folks don't believe he's here yet, but you can tell. He's the eye of the storm. It all roils and spins around him. You don't have to see the man to see the effect he has. Nelson was barely set up. We had a big stretch of unprotected land between Forlorn Hope and Searchlight, and Nelson was the solution. A deaconess named Dead Sea took the place and caused a lot of damage.
By the way, I appreciate what you did for the troopers down there. Nelson might not be the most strategically important place, but taking Dead Sea out means a lot to them. Searchlight was worse. One of Caesar's Frumentari must have found something in there. Flooded the whole camp with radiation. Shoot. It's no secret we've had better campaigns. Holding this whole length of river isn't easy. We're stretched thin and the long 15 just keeps getting longer. Slow to get supplies, slower to get reinforcements. NCR's Senate has got funds tied up at the boneyard. And President Kimball ordered our most experienced rangers to chase ghosts down at Baja. Senate elections are coming up. Local representatives don't want to push any more funding to the Mojave campaign because it's unpopular. Most of the folks around the boneyard haven't been to New Vegas and probably never will. All they know is that their money gets sucked away to this desert and their brothers, sisters, sons, and daughters die here. It's complicated. Goes way back. I told President Kimball that we need more rangers here. He accepted that, but took the most experienced ones and sent them south. Patrol rangers are good men and women, but we're about to fight a war. You've seen it yourself. Some of them don't even have proper service rifles or armor. Our heavy infantry, power armor units, they're back in NCR territory protecting the interests of Brahmin barons against small-time raiders. Brahmin barons only have one vote at the ballot box, but they have a lot of money to throw around. Shoot. I could tell you a lot if you had the time, but at my age, I'm not sure which of us would get tired first. What do you want to know? Suppose it depends on what you think's good. Most folks want to hear about Hoover Dam and Boulder City, but it's a long story. If you want some tall tales about hunting down slavers or busting up gangs, talk to one of the younger rangers. It's kind of a long one, but all right. About 25 years ago, a group of NCR settlers pushed way south into Baja. I guess it doesn't seem so far now if you look at a map, but back then they were out of ways. They built this little shanty town around a well in the middle of nowhere. Called it Rattletail. Word got back to one of our stations that raiders had been attacking the place. I went out with 6 rangers. We must have been on the trail for a week before we got to Rattletail. We lost one woman to night stalkers and another almost died of dehydration. When we reached the place, it's 6 shacks set up around an old well. There's over 24 bodies lying in the dunes way outside of town, and 5 men with 308 rifles crouched behind sandbags. And these bodies, these people out in the sand, they aren't raiders, aren't even heavily armed. They're just people who were trying to get to the only well in 50 miles. I didn't have to talk to the men to see that they did not care one bit. They had planted an NCR flag over the well. They would not budge until every last one of them was laid out, dead and cold. So I walked up and told them there was a group of raiders coming, 100 strong. I made up some cockamamie name for them and everything. The men looked at each other, looked at us, and asked me what we were going to do about it. I told them we would take them back into NCR territory because we'd already lost 10 Rangers on the way out. 10 Rangers, 5 men with 308 rifles. Well, that was enough for them. They packed up what they could, and we took them back north. Last I heard, they settled somewhere in Anza Borrego. Raised bighorners. Had some tough times, but it worked out okay for them. So there you go. That's my one bit of good. In big battles, Caesar deploys his legionaries in waves. Recruits up front, prime soldiers behind the recruits, old guard bringing up the rear. Opponents wear themselves out dealing with the first 2 waves, if they survive that long. When the veterans step up, there's not much fight left. Caesar can adapt, though, and when required, he can run any mix of legionaries as skirmishers and still retain order in the ranks. Joshua Graham, Caesar's old legate, he wasn't so flexible. When the Legion attacked Hoover Dam, General Oliver ordered his troopers back to the middle ground just after first contact. Graham pushed all of the legionaries onto the dam, filling the east side with recruits up front and veterans in the back, by the book. But once they were in, they were stuck there. Oliver's troopers were entrenched and wouldn't give a foot. That's when we ordered the Rangers and the 1st Recon sharpshooters to start picking off veteran Legion officers from a high ridge west of the dam. That only lasted about a minute before Graham ordered the back ranks to push through to the front and rush the ridge. Caused total chaos among the younger legionaries. Oliver's troopers fell back to the side walkways and stayed out of the veterans' way. By the time the veterans got to the ridge, we were already in Boulder City. They followed us down there, but we were out before they realized what was happening. We had packed the old city with C4 and dynamite. Crude, but it did the job. Those who didn't die in the blast were in no position to mount a defense. The ones left on the dam didn't know what to do. The troopers routed them. Graham pulled the remaining legionaries back, but the battle was over. He went south, back to the Grand Canyon, back to Caesar. And that was the last we saw or heard from Joshua Graham. Shoot. The best of the best, and worst of the worst. He came out of NCR, one of the followers of the apocalypse. Like a lot of the followers, he went out in the wilderness with a partner to try to help those who needed helping. Not much different from how the Rangers used to be, except with books and medicine instead of guns. Out to the Grand Canyon, he met a missionary from Utah, a man by the name of Joshua Graham. Graham helped translate for the followers and the tribes. All 3 of them got nabbed by the Blackfoots down there, back when they were still at war with every other tribe in the Southwest. Yes and no. The Blackfoots don't exist anymore, just like any other tribe that gets swallowed by the Legion. Caesar takes the tribal out of the tribe. Scrapes and burns off tattoos, breaks up families, forces mixed breeding so all the old loyalties die away. The only tribe in the Legion is the Legion. Caesar is their chief, father, and God, all rolled into one. Somewhere along the way, he realized he needed to educate the Blackfoots or they were going to get wiped out with the rest of the tribe. Showed them how to use guns, how to make explosives. Once he taught the Blackfoots a thing or two, they needed him. And he no longer needed the followers, NCR, or anyone else. He decided he could remake the tribes of the Southwest whether they wanted it or not. He became Caesar, and Joshua Graham became his legate, his right hand. That's where Graham stayed until Hoover Dam. Losing the dam was the worst defeat the Legion ever suffered. Graham had been with Caesar since the beginning, but he had to set an example. The Praetorians covered Graham in pitch, lit him on fire, and down into the Grand Canyon he went. It's not that clear cut. You have to understand, Graham was the toughest son of a gun anyone around these parts had ever seen. Before Hoover, we had 5 kill reports on Graham from Rangers and 1st Recon sharpshooters who tried to take him out. Some folks think he's still alive. Call him the Burned Man. Shoot. Folks around here call me the Chief, but Hanlon's just fine. The Rangers run themselves pretty well, but I try to lend a hand. Mostly administrative work, helping coordinate intel on the radio. That and keeping an eye on the fires growing across the water. Legion fires. They burn high wherever the Legion goes. Caesar's a hard man to figure out, but he always wants you to know when more troops are at your front door. Shoot. Interesting that she would wrangle someone else into sorting out the problem. But I suppose you're in the right place. A lot of intel comes through here. Well, the logical thing to do is to check with the patrol rangers and comm officers. Don't be too discouraged if some things don't match up. Different people see different things, and sometimes the meaning gets twisted, lost in static from person to person. It's a simple system when it works. Patrol rangers radio intel to ranger stations. Comm rangers send the intel up the station chain until it reaches Camp Golf. Then I or one of the other rangers on duty organize the data, evaluate it, and send information to camps or troopers in the field. Comm rangers might have an incomplete picture of the situation. There's a lot going on out there. Intel needs to be coordinated through Gulf so we can verify and advise appropriately. Troopers have enough to deal with. We don't want them questioning their intel. I don't know Technical Sergeant Reyes, but coordinating intel can be messy sometimes. Things get mixed up, people get confused. Heck, I get confused, and I've been doing this for a long time now. What he or she sees as a problem might be standard operating procedure. That's not to say Reyes is wrong for being concerned, but it's easy for the sand to get in your eyes out here. Shoot. This... Hold on. If we're gonna have this conversation, let's go somewhere more private. Don't worry, not much bite left in this old dog. Sorting and manipulating intelligence is what I do. It's what Rangers are supposed to do. This job isn't all gunfighting and gulping shots of whiskey, no matter what the boys and ladies out there say. have you? Misdirection. When you're pinned down, outnumbered, and 2 days from any help, it's just about the best friend you can have. Misdirection's what saved me all these years. It's what saved us at Hoover Dam. But it's been 5 years now, and Caesar's right across that lake. He's closer now than he ever was before. I was a young man once. I know what it's like to want to fight for your home. But this isn't it. It's never gonna end, this fight with Caesar. People back home don't know what these young men and women are in for. The Legion is the worst enemy we've ever faced. But we can't stop Caesar here. Not without getting a lot of good people killed. More than anyone cares to count up. But even if we do stop him, I don't see how we're ever going to be able to pull out. We're fighting on their behalf, but Mr. House and the families are stringing us up inch by inch. They'll drain us dry while we fight and die over this dam. We offered them sanctuary in NCR territory before, but they won't listen. Troopers and Rangers have been dying here for more than 5 years while the families sit pretty behind that damn wall. People back home don't listen. They don't care. Senators, Brahmin barons, folks who are just trying to make it from day to day. It's been so many years that people forget about it. Conscription brings in fresh troops that die here every month, like it's routine. And even if we hold this dam, what then? Are we going to send the NCR's men and women to die here for another 5 years? 10? Patrol the whole length of the Colorado for hundreds of miles? Holding this dam, it'll be the death of us. Creating fear and instability among the troopers without causing harm. It's the only thing I could think of to shake things up. It took some people getting killed to realize I'd gone too far. I had to stop. First thing that comes to mind is to turn me in. But that might not be the best play, all things considered. Even if your heart's in the right place, I reckon it might do a lot more harm than good. Oliver can't stand that Rangers got credit for victory at Hoover. Whatever I recommend, he does the opposite. I said I wanted us on the ridge. He put them right on the western part of the dam itself. We don't have enough firepower to hold that spot. If the troopers fall back, and they will, the Rangers will advance to cover Oliver's retreat. We lose the dam, Oliver and the Senator are ruined. Rangers are volunteers. Every man and woman who signs up is willing to die for the NCR, myself included. A lot of this is my fault. It's only right that I stand with them. Maybe 50 Rangers will die on that dam. We lose over 1,000 troopers every year. Being here is crazy. Getting out's the only sane thing to do. I don't know if you're working for Caesar or if desperation's made me a heck of a lot more persuasive. Either way, this is the right thing to do. Now, I trust we're done discussing this. I'm gonna step through that door and pretend like we never had this talk. I don't believe there's anything left for us to talk about. I don't believe there's anything left for us to talk about.
Welcome back, stranger. Bring me a dozen fire gecko. Welcome back, stranger. Do you have good news for the Thorn? Good work, stranger. The Thorn will nurture these eggs until their hatchlings are ready to bleed for us. Here's a compensation for your service. I trust that we're in agreement over it. You are a match to my elite, but don't congratulate yourself so profusely just yet. Still, your valor deserves recognition, and I shall honor it. The Thorn's calling its elite hunters to collect one of its deadliest creatures. Find Night Stalker eggs, and your bravery will be greatly rewarded. Night Stalkers are amongst the most fearsome beasts you'll ever face. They're also hard to find, but I know of a nest at a cave near Bitter Springs. Confident. I like that. So long, stranger. Welcome back, stranger. Do you have good news for the Thorn? Good work, stranger. Here's a compensation for your service. I thank you, stranger. I'm asking our top hunters to gather Cazador eggs. I'd be impressed by whoever returns with such a prize. Cazadors are extremely deadly, but they are also reclusive. Try looking near the Red Rocks canyons. The crowd loves your bravery. So long, stranger.
You're making me carry the heavy stuff, aren't you? Listen, I want to thank you for helping me out. I'm sorry that things didn't go like I'd hoped, but at least I got the chance to try. At least I know for sure that there was nothing I could do. Thank you for giving me that chance. Why does everyone always say that? Okay, then I guess I'll be back at the 188. Maybe digging in some dirt for scrap metal or something.
Hello. You come around like a bad habit. What's on your mind? They want to buy Cassidy caravans? Don't they know it's burned to ash? No. Even times being what they are. Not sure I'm looking to sell. Even for all the whiskey in Reno. Mojave happened. Hit by raiders packing some heavy firepower. Can't believe the Crimson Caravan haven't heard. So if you want to buy all of Cassidy caravans, you're looking at it. And what I got in my pockets. Still, as little as that is, not looking to sell. If someone came up to you and offered you 1,000 caps for your name, would you take it? Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I don't want to hear your answer anyway. Point is, I made the caravan what it is. It's mine. Alice McLafferty, eh? No, I see the zeros, and I know she's good for them. Still, it's not about the money. Dad'd spin like a twister if he ever heard I sold our name for anything. Look, I know you came all this way, and that takes some drive, especially these days. Just doesn't feel right. Trading history for a slip of paper. That's a good point. It's the caravan clearance that's got me stuck here. I'm sure this bar's getting tired of propping me up. Give me that paper. I'll put my name to it. No sense trying to hold the past between your fingers when it's nothing but dirt. All right. There you go. Caravan's yours. Feel kind of relieved, actually. Guess I didn't realize how much I was carrying around with just the name. No idea. Maybe head back west? Though the idea of heading back there with my tail between my legs isn't appealing. Where? Like Vegas? Shoot and spit enough friends out. East? Get put in one of Caesar's little camps? No thanks. Head back west? I already know the big circle and everyone in it, except now I go back there ruined. Never really realized how small the Mojave's getting nowadays. Hard to find a place to go that's worthwhile. It's the company? That has got to be the biggest load of Brahmin shit I've ever heard. Still, if you've got more like that, walking the Mojave with you can't be any worse than here, that's for sure. All right, I'm in. Glad I left the outpost behind. Morning. Well, now that I'm free of the outpost, was wondering if you'd mind making a detour. I'd like to pay my respects to the end of Cassidy caravans. Check out the site where they died. Upside of Vegas, hear tell? Trapped at the Mojave outpost, so I wasn't able to run there when I heard. Been weeks since it was hit, so the site's probably a Cazador nest by now. Got word back on what happened from Rangers. Guess they found enough in the wreckage to identify it. Only wishful thinking on my part, most likely. At the least, I'd like to pay my respects. I got them into this mess. I owe them that much. Well, you have to know what to look for. Some of the caravan might be ash, but we were expecting raiders and over-inquisitive NCR border guards. There might be something left. If I'm there with you, shouldn't be hard to spot. And I'd prefer to see the bodies with my own eyes. Ask him then. Gift for my dad, along with my name. Rose of Sharon Cassidy. Mom said he got the name out of some old world book about dirt pilgrims. Name sure sounds sweet, though. Anyway, pendant's a little rose. Originally thought it was one of Mom's tribal necklaces, but no. Came from Dad. You know, like one of the tribes from the east. We got them out west, too. NCR's herding them up, though, domesticating them. Mom was from east of the Colorado, though. Not sure what tribe. It was before the time Caesar rounded them up, made them legion. She walked a hell of a way until she crossed paths with my dad, and he convinced her to stop walking. And lucky for me, he was a horny old bastard. Didn't ask Mom to elaborate. Never heard her complain about his bedroom behavior. Only complain he wasn't around to do it no more. Not much to tell. He ended up walking east one day when I was young and never came back. Not a family deserter like some, though. Mom died waiting for him, and she had me to raise. She was sick, but she held off dying until I was old enough to be getting into trouble with the boys. As for Dad, I figure he just got himself lost or dead. Happens. And I'm not all boo-hoo about it, so save your glass for someone who's crying. Not a clue. When he left, I was too in my crib to understand why, and around the time Mom passed, I was too into my teens to listen. Got his name, got this pendant, and that's about it. Short of caps is what taught me mostly. Ammo's expensive, so I learned to make every shot count. And hear tell my dad was a crack shot, so I don't want to dirty the family name. Not out of pride. Respect. Dynamite's for when you don't have enough bullets, want to clear a pass or scare off geckos from a caravan. Some of Twister's Out of the Divide can block off a pass in no time, so you learn how to handle powder so you don't get trapped somewhere. Any event, I prefer shooting if it comes down to an argument. Don't worry, I'll carry my weight if a disagreement arises. What, you mean like spears? No, none of that. Mom was a tribal, but she didn't teach me anything like that. Why the hell we wandering? A man who shot you. And you got better. 2 shots in the head without an auto doc is a lot of patching. Hope you thanked him properly. Who's this snake that put bullets in your head? Did he have cause, or... Well, if it wasn't before, it is now. Did he bother to introduce himself, or did he not take you for somebody who'd get up again when killed? Can't say I've heard the name, or heard about any man dressed like a seat cover. Still, suit means money, and suits stand out, especially here in the Mojave. One of the larger towns, or Vegas, might be the place to go. Don't you worry, though. We'll sort this asshole out. Rattle his cage a little. Ask him, then. I'm fair with chucking dynamite, not bad with a pistol, if I do say so myself. Carry a knife, too, but that's more for practical reasons. Prefer settling things with my fists, though. Made more friends than corpses in bar fights. Plan on keeping it that way. Don't think I'm some kind of Vault City pacifist, though. If things get heated, I'll start shooting. Trust me. Ask? Not sure if I chose it or it chose me. Dad ran a bar a long time ago, and it was a labor of love, Mom said. Didn't sound like it made her happy. Still, I'm guessing I got some of Dad's love of whiskey in me because the burn suits me fine. Used to call me Whiskey Rose back west, before I punched enough people, so now they say it. But quiet, and when I'm not around. Yeah, on account of my name, and the blossoms on my cheeks when I drink too much. Won most of those fights, too. Can take a hell of a punch and give it right back when I've got a bottle in me. It's all in how you drink it, though. There's a trick to it. When we pass the bottle, I'll show you how it's done. There's usually a bar in every stop along the road. Helps me sleep. Well, not really, but I tell myself that. Sometimes I have to brew it myself if I'm too far from a bar. Not quality, but I'm for anything that takes the edge off the day. Yeah. What else you gonna do with an empty bottle? Wait for it to refill itself? Get me some ingredients out of the Mojave, an empty bottle, a little time, and I'll keep us stocked. Ask him then. Well, I'm not one for soft living. Or soft men, let me tell you. I'm guessing neither are you. What? Oh. Damn, no offense meant. Sometimes I get so drunk, I don't care who I share a bed with, so that's fine with me. My point before is that you know the Mojave, and it's a hard place. The caravan fighting here in the Mojave, it's been downright brutal. The amount of caravan space you reserve for ammo alone. And if it's not raiders, powder gangers, it's NCR tolls. They need to get the money from somewhere, even if it's Vegas bound. Anyone wise does. Vegas families pay on time, from what I've heard. Even the Omertas. The white gloves pay on time, but they're creepy. Deal with anyone else, though, you're taking a big risk. The Legion? What about them? I don't trade caps or supply anyone who keeps slaves and treats women like Brahmin in those camps of theirs. There's some caravans that deal with the Legion, yes. And as much as it pains me to say it, any caravan marked by the Legion is safe as houses. They guard their roads, their supply lines. Even fiends would hesitate before going after any trader dealing with Legion. I am. If NCR took the same stand and committed patrols to the roads, then I'd think that'd solve a lot of their problems right there. But they don't. Caravans get butchered in the Mojave all the time, like mine. And so fucking close to Vegas you could see it from the wall. NCR tries. It's just that trying doesn't mean a whole lot when you're paying your respects to the dead. And Legion, from what I've heard, they don't do the stop tolls on the roads or in the outposts like some NCR quartermasters do. You're lucky if you turn a profit sometimes if some new officer gets assigned a route, the fees just get worse. Much as I hate the Legion, caravan life would be a hell of a lot easier if they ran the roads. Well, as long as those companies were run by men. And that's the biggest issue I see. And it's a shame. But I think there's people on the NCR side who feel more strongly than I do. Some caravans deal with the Legion now because the security. If towns could get the same protection, a lot more tempting than you'd think. A bunch of people would be willing to side with the Legion to not have to worry about fiends and boomers and powder ganger attacks. It's not hard for some folks to sell freedom when the alternative is worse. Especially if being with NCR is going to get you an Allegiant Cross. Ask him then. Started? Took to it like a fish to water. Well, if you know what a fish is. It's this slimy, scaled thing. Like a lake lurk, except no legs. Well, most times. They're like birds, except they stay underwater. Anyway, I've seen pictures. One guy even had one above his bar in Reading, except it was made of pre-war plastic. He used to say it could sing, but I figured he was on a jet rush. Actually, it sort of fell on me. My feet get antsy if I stay in one place, like the Mojave Outpost. It was driving me crazy, that feeling of being trapped there. So thanks for that. Yeah, west, east, and pass through places enough times people would sometimes pay me some caps to take something to the next town. Well, not as glamorous, I guess. Roads back west were safer in most places. Most. Anyway, occurred to me I could scratch the traveling itch and get paid for it. Cassidy caravans formed around me. Rest is history. Ask him then. NCR's my country, and I support it. Anyone who says otherwise, I'll feed them my knee. I know which side of the firing line I'm on in the Mojave, just so you know. Yeah, there is. I'm not some blind, flag-saluting, do-as-they-will NCR lover. They're family. But let me tell you what family means. You ever had a brother? Some dumbass younger brother, say, who knocked up the pastor's daughter, can't hold a job, and is home away as a jail cell? That's NCR. Their compass is spinning all the time. They try to put their stake in everything they see. Nobody's dick's that long. Not even Long Dick Johnson, and he had a fucking long dick. Thus the name. So NCR tries to hold on to everything. They can't, because it's too big for them to get their arms around. They can't guard the roads. They can't put a line of troops around the Mojave. It's just greed that makes the heads back west even try. Aside from the people in the towns, it's the soldiers that suffer for it most. Ever seen NCR troops asked to go after gangs at 3-to-1 odds? That bear flag doesn't make them bulletproof. And when those gangs were caused by NCR in the first place, like the Powder Gangers, Caesar on a crutch. Don't get me started there. Look, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't want the Brotherhood, or the Followers, or the Vegas families running the Mojave. All of them are a different kind of fuck-up. NCR just has some shaping up to do. Maybe Caesar kicking them in the nuts is a nice wake-up call, is all I'm saying. I just wish Caesar would kick the heads of NCR, not the feet. I've fucked a soldier in my time. They don't need to get fucked by their orders. Ask them then. Much as anyone else. Cazador Trap. You fly in, the city sucks a pint out of you, then you're out on the street. NCR makes a habit of going there and dumping cash. Only the Strip gets fat off it. Couldn't tell you much more than that. Not really one for New Vegas when there's enough dump water bars in the Mojave to last me. Ask them then. Don't have all the ingredients you need. Come back when you have them, and I'd be happy to get something cooking.
We won't go quietly.
what it feels
And with that, Rose, I'm gonna end my session.
like just alerts and